Hey everybody, Rez the Collector here, just bringing you a review of the Superman Injustice from the 2-pack with Nightwing. Um, I'm just going to be reviewing the Superman figure. I am going to be keeping the Nightwing figure, um, but I'm not going to bother reviewing him. Most of my reviews are going to be, of course, Superman related. Let's take a closer look at the character here. Get that to focus a little bit. There we go. For how big it is, I mean, you can tell he's pretty small. Just there's my finger. Of course, I do have big hands, but yeah, he's a pretty small fig. But for as small as he is very cool. For the size is a 3.75, and when I had initially seen these figures, I didn't realize how tiny they were. And for what I thought they were, I just looked. Of course, I didn't read the description. I thought they were actually, when I first saw them, 6-inch figs. And for a 6-inch fig, I wouldn't have really been happy with the sculpt. I'm not a big fan of like the ab crunches, and he looks. He just doesn't look. He wouldn't look right for a 6-inch figure. But for 3.75, they did an amazing job on him. The face, well, the sculpt is nice. It's very clear. He does look kind of Asian. I do like the raised S. This is the good version of Superman from the Injustice game. There is also a evil version that did come in the 6-inch, put out by Mattel. And he also has a raised S, but the design is a little bit different. The belt's different. The suit's variant colors, and he has more of an armored look. He did not, of course, come with this base. This is the DC Universe base. I actually picked up like 40 of these. They come in a box of 40, and unfortunately, they don't work for my 6-inch figures. The pegs on them are just too small. So out of the 40, I've actually only been able to use 3. One on him, one on the Nightwing figure that came with him, and then one on the 4-inch Man of Steel figure that I have. They don't even work on the old Superpowers figures, which kind of sucks. He has some good articulation. He does have shoulder, he's got bicep, he does have elbow and wrist. He does have, of course, the double crunch there for the abs. He's got the chest and then the ab, or the waist crunch. The leg articulation, while good on a ball joint, mine, like I've seen some other people's, one other review, that right leg there just tends, when you're messing with it, just tends to pop right off. And it's not broken, it's just popping right off that ball joint. And of course, it is easy to put back on, which is good. And for me, for somebody, a collector who's not going to be playing with the figure, and honestly, for the price that these are, for two 3.75 figures, I mean, it's like $25. I mean, that is pretty expensive for what they are. So I don't see this as going to a lot of kids to play with. I mean, sure, a few of them are going to be going to kids, but for the majority, it's going to be collectors like myself, and most likely like you who's watching this video. So that's not really that big of a deal for me because he is going to be just on display. For the articulation, we do have, of course, the ball-jointed hips there, which give us a decent amount of articulation. We have the double-jointed knee, which is very nice for poseability. And then, of course, we do have a articulation where the boot actually swivels, and then we got the ankle articulation there. Mine looks like the ab is off-center. I don't know if that's just the way the crunch is, and I can fix that, but I'll work on that a little bit before he goes in the display case. The hand being open, of course, there are some Superman figures that he does have an open hand, but generally he's generally in a punching position, which I find to be far more accurate for a Superman figure. I mean, let's face it, I mean, Superman pretty much punches his way through things. You don't really think of him as like a brutish character, but I mean, I mean, he doesn't use weapons, he uses his fists. So the open hand was a little bit of a throw off. The cape is actually very nice. Very soft and pliable, which is nice. I don't like to see the rigid capes because it does affect if you do want to try and put them in a different pose. It does have that nice V shape with the seam down there. The seam looks off, but that's only because the cape is supposed to be like billowing a little bit. I apologize for the shakiness of this as I'm trying to hold this with one hand. The red collar up here, I'm not sure if that's going to be accurate to the game or not. I did play the game when it first came out and beat it in like 4 hours, so I don't really remember. So yeah, I'd have to take a look to see if that's game accurate or not. I do see that you can see there's a gap between the cape and the S, and I do think that's actually supposed to go all the way down. At least from the side of the box it does. Let's take a look here. The side of the box, yeah, it looks like those are actually supposed to be touching. But I do think most likely these were taken off of the prototype figures. And I'm going to assume that the prototype figures were a little bit bigger in size. Because if you look at the face and you look at the differences in the collar there, that looks more like almost like a t-shirt collar on the actual figure. But it looks almost sort of like the raised New 52 collar. It doesn't go up as high, but it looks more like that raised collar there from New 52. Overall, for the size of the figure, very cool. Definitely going to be earning a spot in the display case, along with my smaller Superman figures. I've got the, of course, that 4-inch Man of Steel. I've got the Superpowers figure, and then I've got him, and then I've actually got a couple of statues I'm going to be reviewing here in just a couple of minutes that came with the Superman Man of Steel Blu-ray. But this is Rez the Collector. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and like the video. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I do try to put out some good quality, hopefully, videos that you'll enjoy. Most of my videos are going to be Superman related, so if that's your thing, subscribe. All right, thank you for watching.